Speaking of being put on a list, we are here today to talk about Obi. Oh wait, I didn't realize that they did that at the beginning of the first episode. The like viewer discretion. I only remember that from the fifth one, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
fuck,
well,
what are they gonna show? And
the
then I'm like,
series is
oops.
kind of brutal. So,
Oh yeah. Oh well, hang on. Let me. I was gonna say we're here to talk about Obi-Wan basically. I mean, if you clicked on the video, you probably know what the
yeah, if you read the title
Yeah,
and
unless
look
I
at the
name this
thumbnail.
something fucking weird like Phantom Menace pod race dissection, and then it's just the Obi-Wan show. We mentioned pod racing once, but anyway, yeah, we're here to talk about that. Ended like 2 weeks ago now, 1 or
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. So
So,
a little bit of time has passed. Wanted to collect my thoughts on it. I don't like jumping the gun on reviewing things
mhm.
unless it's like, I don't know, something that we're like excited about or want to talk about it. But I always have to
Yeah.
preface that with like, don't trust my initial opinion. I always say
Yeah.
that for fucking everything. Um,
Oh yeah, because I think you and I have opposite reactions to things. Like where I'll mainly go into something like this is gonna suck, like, and then like I'll hate it when I first see it, and then excuse me, I'll watch it again, and I'll be like, oh, actually, I kind of like this.
yeah,
Whereas you, I think you're always super positive in everything you see, and then you'll see it again, and you'll be like, yeah, I waited a long time because I don't like watching week to week because I get very impatient. So I
I
just
mean, I don't blame you.
yeah, um, not that I think releasing it all at once would be better, but I just
Uh, in this case, it might have been because they came out and said that this was originally going to be
it
a trilogy of films, or at
yeah
least one movie. And having now heard that, it kind of does feel like one movie that they kind of like had to chop up and throw some extra scenes in there, just
yeah
to like pad it out a bit to get the 4 episodes.
yeah. If it was self-contained, I guess it would make more sense. I'm just thinking more like other series where they like have multiple seasons, but they'll release like one part. Like for I don't know, I don't think we ever talk about anime, but Netflix released an anime where like it's like multiple parts, and they released the first part all at once, and then like they're waiting like a year to release the second part, and it's like,
Hmm.
well, all the hype's gonna die down for it by then. And
Right.
like we got it all in like 1 week. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
got over all their hype in like 1 week for it, so it's
That's
like,
yeah, that's what happened with Stranger Things. At least the third season, it was like, oh, they put it out. Everyone was like, yeah, 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 and then the newest season didn't come out until like a month ago, and it
yeah.
was just like, do people even like this anymore? No, I know I've heard like great things about it and everything, but it's
Hmm.
like, normally like the hype, like you were saying, you kind of have to keep it going,
Yeah,
which is hard to
especially
do.
yeah, especially for something that like you're not sure if it's gonna be so well received, because in the case of Obi-Wan, um, I mean, going right into the back to Obi-Wan,
Yeah,
I
bring it
I
all back around.
yeah, I after watching Book of Boba Fett was like, I am not excited for. I mean, I'm excited. I want to be proven wrong, but my hopes. I'm not a very hopeful or optimistic person when it comes to Star Wars anymore,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, Mandalorian was really good. Season
Mm-hmm.
2 was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Book of Boba Fett came out, and I went, oh.
Yeah. Ooh.
uh, and then
And you forget about Bad Batch as well, because it's like, it's fine, like it's good, but it's just kind of forgettable. It's
yeah,
like, oh yeah,
it's
oh,
like,
it's getting another season. Oh, okay.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like, what
All
are they
right.
gonna do?
Yeah, it just putts around
Yeah,
again.
I like the idea of bringing back old Clone Wars characters. It's like, just to kind of go off on that a little bit. Just
Hmm.
like, that's something to do at least. But anyway, keep straying away from
From
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, yeah. Well, we're preamble to set up how we went into this. And yeah, I agree with Book of Boba Fett. Like, we gave that shit a 3 out of 10, and that was an instance again where I kept waiting for shit to happen. Luckily that didn't happen with this, at least for me. We haven't talked about it together. We like to save that for the actual review. So this is my first time actually hearing what Max thinks.
Yeah.
But I'll let you start. What do you think of the show? Just generally overall,
Um.
is it worse than Book of Boba Fett?
No. No.
No.
No.
Okay.
I think it's. I definitely think it's better than Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
I think. I like how it looks. I can definitely like tell. I didn't know that it was supposed to be a movie originally. So
Mm-hmm.
saying that, I'm watching it and I'm like rethinking all like the scenes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I I'm kind of mixed on it. I'm mainly positive though.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's really brutal, and at some points unnecessarily brutal.
Hmm.
Like the whole show opening up with like a shooting scene, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's like, okay,
which is very unfortunate with the timing of the premiere of the first episode and everything. And
yeah,
when the fifth episode came out, it was just like, ooh,
yeah,
ouch.
yeah. That's not. It's not just that, but like Darth Vader.
Oh
like
God.
he like the point where he went on, it was at Tatooine and started like murking people like civilians. I was like, ooh, okay, that's pretty brutal. But I guess it's Darth Vader. We've never seen him really be brutal in the show too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, up until this point, the movies, at least, the most brutal he had been, I think, was Rogue One. But I would still consider Revenge of the Sith to be the darkest movie.
Yeah,
Just because everything that happens with the Jedi and like the killing of the younglings and all that.
yeah,
Which, just to bring up on that topic of brutality with this, is like him, not only Vader snapping that kid's neck in broad night light, I guess, but like that, and then the scene where they flash back to Reva's past
mm-hmm.
in the fifth episode, and you actually like the way they cut it with like the kids screaming as he's like slicing. I genuinely felt
Yeah.
uncomfortable, more so than in Revenge of the Sith, because that's more like sad and it's like really dramatic, and it's like, what are we gonna do? And then he just like it's more up
Yeah.
to your imagination. He like puts his lightsaber out and it's like cuts away. It's like, oh man, like I know what's happening. This is like, fuck.
Yeah,
Like he
it's
is like
like-
mowing him down, and
yeah.
he does not have any look of anything on his face. It's
Yeah, and I was like,
holy
oh my
shit.
god.
Yeah.
like made me furrow my brow.
Um,
And then like the scene where he fights Obi-Wan the first time and it's just dragging him through fire.
Oh, that made me feel uncomfortable too. Not
Yeah.
in like a bad way where I thought it was bad, but like it was pretty effective. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make you suffer. It's like, holy shit, okay.
Yeah, like,
I believe
he is,
that.
he is out for fucking blood.
Yeah, so I just wanted to cover that off the get-go because it's
Uh-huh.
like that kind of put me off at some points. I don't think it's necessarily bad that they had it in there. I mean, it was effective in what they wanted to do, but I think for like the children murdering scenes, they could have toned that down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, I pretty much feel the same way. I don't know about toning it down, because I don't know if it's a problem necessarily. Because I mean, if this was in like fucking like Force Awakens, if they showed something like that, I'd be like, whoa, because that movie's like fairly lighthearted, all things considered.
Yeah.
If they show the children murder, I was like, oh shit, okay, well, all right. But I overall think it's good, not great. I
Mhm.
think everything they do here is solid. They just don't go far enough for me in a few of like the character things.
Yeah.
Like there's some really great moments. It's kind of almost like Rebels. It's kind of I feel the same way, where it's like you got some really great moments here, and
Yes.
overall it's good. It's just I don't think they went far enough with some of the things. Like it started out, I was like, first episode, I was like, wow, this is great,
Mhm.
because it starts out, Obi-Wan is doing his thing. Well, other than like the Inquisitor thing, which we'll talk about the Inquisitors later. But it's like he's doing his thing on Tatooine, and then he goes home in his cave, and he's having like PTSD, which we were hoping that they would do.
Yes.
Because that's a really interesting thing to do with Obi-Wan. He's having flashbacks to Anakin and all
Yep.
that.
I like him trying to reach out to Qui-Gon.
Yes.
Being like, I know you're there. Please, I need guidance or
And
something.
you're like, oh yeah.
Nope. You haven't unlocked me yet.
Yeah. If I unlock, yeah. You don't have enough battle points. But I thought that was good, and then the show kind of turns into the Obi-Wan and Leia show, which again isn't bad, but once I realized that was what the main chunk of the show was going to be, I was like, oh, okay. And then they kind of stop focusing on Obi-Wan, and it sort of becomes split between him and Leia, and then Reva, which again we will get to
Mhm.
in a little bit here. And I feel like that payoff with Vader at the end would have been stronger had maybe the Leia thing ended at the beginning of like the third episode. Then Obi-Wan was on the run. Like he saved Leia, and then he's like, okay, shit, I'm exposed. I have to, go and do my own thing or something like that. Like now they know how to track me. Vader's finding me. And then, they kind of did what we were hoping as well with like a flashback.
Yeah.
But again, I feel like if there was more, if there was like maybe like one set in the Clone Wars, or they had used I really feel like this was the time to use that very
Yeah.
specific one where he was like, "Oh, you'll never disappoint me, Anakin," and then you just sort of go
Oh,
into the whole, um, that really emotional scene at the end, which is, by the way, that is my favorite scene in here, and I genuinely felt
with
like,
Obi-Wan and Anakin.
yeah, where he's like, he starts
Oh,
crying a little bit,
you
and
would
he's like, "I'm
his
so sorry." It really like made me
yeah.
like feel
His
sick, like, oh
performance was
man,
so good.
yeah,
I
and
was
then
like, oh, you could tell that it's like, oh,
yeah, you could tell it's eating him up.
yeah,
And he genuinely feels sad what happened to him, and then the whole exchange with you didn't kill Anakin, I did. And it's a really great way of saying, like, yeah, Anakin is gone, this thing here is
yeah,
Darth Vader, like that. The person that you think that is in front of you is like no longer here.
yeah.
um
Which just to say, going into this, I was very anxious about having Hayden Christensen back because I've seen Little Italy, you know. I know what this
no.
man is capable of now that he's an adult, and I was like, he's gonna be in the suit. Darth Vader is gonna be in it. Even well, I'll get to that in a second, but even having Darth Vader being in it, I was like, really?
Yeah,
Like,
and again, I wasn't happy with him leaving Tatooine, and again, I still don't think they should have done that. Another thing that I kind of feel with the show, I guess, in just an overall aspect, is I kind of feel it's kind of pointless in a way. It doesn't really feel like it added too much,
yeah,
other than like the Anakin Obi-Wan thing at the very end.
yeah.
Because the Leia and Obi-Wan relationship doesn't really
Do
add
they ever even
much.
meet each other again?
No. Well, the thing people have been pointing out is like in A New Hope, when he's dead, she doesn't really even react to it at all.
That's what I was thinking. Like they potentially
She has more of a
meet
connection
than Luke
than
does.
Luke does, yeah. But I mean, I guess that is Princess Leia's character. That's what people have been writing it off as, like, she's very like, you'll have time to mourn later
Yeah.
kind of thing, which it makes enough sense. But and I guess it also adds to the whole reason why she would name her son Ben as
Mm-hmm.
well. Because in Force Awakens, people were like, why? She had no connection to him. Well, here's 6 episodes to explain why. But yeah, I liked Obi-Wan. To get onto Obi-Wan specifically,
Yeah.
again, Ewan McGregor's performance is great as always. That was never going to be in question.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least for me, that he was going to be, his acting would not be a problem, just because it wasn't a problem in anything else Star Wars he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He was easily the best Obi-Wan.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Ghost of Alec Guinness.
Well, I mean, you can almost feel like he has a little Alec Guinness he's trying to do in this,
Oh
where
yeah,
he's like soft spoken and I'm just a Ben, I'm just Ben hanging
yeah,
out, and it's like yeah, you can tell that he's not the Obi-Wan that we knew in Revenge of the Sith, but that Obi-Wan is still there, and it's been like how
right.
many years has it been since you've played that character?
That's true.
To just be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna do a show about him now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, damn, he just like went right back into it, Into that.
Just to put a cap on Obi-Wan's whole thing, I don't think it's completely meaningless, but at the end of the day, I do feel like the conclusion he comes to isn't something that he could have just, we could have just assumed off screen, where it's like, oh, he learned that Anakin and Vader were two different people. It's like you probably could have interpreted that from the ending
Yeah.
of like Revenge of the Sith, maybe. Um, you know, also, again, I do like this, so I did want to say, like, what they do deal with him feeling like he can't, like he has to be inactive, and it's sort of like messing with him, and he really isn't connected to the Force as well.
Yeah.
And like that guy gets punched in the stomach, he can't do anything. The Inquisitors are about to kill Owen, and he really can't do anything.
Yeah.
You could tell it's like eating him. So I mean, he even rejects the call from Bale initially. He's like, you have to find someone else, I'm not the same guy.
And it's true. Like he lets himself go. Like he can't even wield a lightsaber anymore.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
So I mean, yeah, like I do like, I do think the character work is good. Again, it's just not as strong as it could be.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was more focused on him, this show would probably, what's a good way of putting it? Not prove its existence, but like,
yeah.
prove why it needed to be made, I guess.
Yeah. Which that's like just to jump to the ending, because this isn't really like a spoiler-free review, I guess.
I mean, if it is, we just spoiled the fuck out of it. So I mean,
I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah,
We literally talked about
I was
the
about
whole
to say,
fucking
whoa.
conclusion of the movie. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
At the end, when he's like, Qui-Gon finally shows up, and he's like, okay, time to go on your journey. And it's like, what if they just cut out like all the baby Leia scenes, or made that like 1 or 2 episodes, and then like had his journey actually be the show?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Well,
like,
again, that's what I thought we were gonna do as well.
Yeah, because like it almost feels like they're trying to lead it into another season.
Which people have wanted, because I mean, of course people are going to want to see Obi-Wan and
Yeah.
Qui-Gon, especially if he's teaching him how to become one with the Force after he dies. Like,
Yeah.
that's super interesting. And the fact that it's like just a little tease here at the end, we still don't actually get to see it.
Yeah,
It does feel a little bit like we're gypped.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I know they can't really give us a whole nother season of that, but it's like,
they've been saying like, oh, if the fans want another season, it's like, no fucking shit. People are going to want another season. It's Obi-Wan. Like,
yeah, we give you a cliffhanger or something really cool that will happen with Obi-Wan after we just proved how cool he is.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want another one? Do you want us to continue? I mean, we could. And it's like, come on.
I guess a problem I have with the show is that there's a couple of moments that aren't, I feel like they could have been bigger. They could have had like some more weight to them. Like, they treat them as just like, they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's out. Like Obi-Wan activating his lightsaber again for the first time in 10 years. He just kind of, I thought they were going to do like a moment where like Vader has his out and then he like brings it and he's like can't bring himself to actually like press it or something like that.
No, but he hides behind some rocks and goes,
well, that moment where he first sees Vader again kind of feels just like a wet fart. It's like, it's supposed to be like this big moment. Like, this is the first time he's seeing him again, and there's like not really any like super big reaction or like a reveal of like,
doesn't he just run away too?
Yeah, it's kind of goofy the way it's framed.
Yeah,
it's unintentionally funny.
I went,
yeah,
I was like, okay.
I mean, it's not like it doesn't make sense. It's just, it looks like they filmed it at like an actual coal mine or something like that. Like, they just filmed it at like a construction site, just like mounds of dirt.
Like a John Wick scene.
Yeah. That, and then the Qui-Gon scene, it's like, oh, he's walking, oh yeah, Qui-Gon just appears. And again, it's cool to have Liam Neeson back, and it's like a nice little thing where it's like, you couldn't see me, oh, you weren't ready yet, because obviously he needed to let go of the guilt of Anakin. But it's like he's just out in the desert, just standing there, like, oh, and he's like, oh, hey, Master Qui-Gon. It's like, oh, sick.
What's up, Master?
What up? So there's just a whole bunch of things that I feel like could have been like more momentous. The biggest one was Reva knowing that Anakin, she's the one that tells him that Vader is Anakin and that Anakin's alive. And it's just like oh, you don't know? Like a random line of dialogue. And I mean, Obi-Wan's reaction is fantastic, but it's like, that's how he finds out.
Yeah, I wish he would have found out. It would have been cool, like in the final fight when he cut. I mean, I don't know how it would work for him wanting to fight Vader so much, knowing it was Anakin, without knowing it was Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it could have been like, he cuts the mask and he sees Anakin's burnt up face and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that, or like maybe he tries to reach out like to him and then he feels Vader, and then that's how Vader knows, like, oh fuck, like they reestablished the connection they had or something.
Or Vader can even be like, Master, you know.
Yeah, and
Obi-Wan could be like, what?
Or like they mention Lord Vader and that's all he needs, because he knows that Anakin's title is Vader.
Mm-hmm.
So all he needs to hear is that. And then he's like, that. Oh, fuck. And then he looks into it more, or he reaches out to try and feel him or something. But
after watching Reva, is that her name?
We can get into her and the Inquisitors now if you want.
Yeah, okay. Let's because the Inquisitors, I don't like... I don't like that the Grand Inquisitor got stabbed, because
that was fucking stupid.
I've seen Rebels.
Dude.
I've seen Rebels, dude. I know how this works.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. And it feels, I think the guy said he did it because he wanted like a surprise. It's like, wow. But now we know
Ryan
that
Johnson.
Not only does he survive,
subvert your expectations.
And again, it's like the whole thing of like, oh, using anger to like sustain yourself. Like, I mean, that's how Anakin did it. That's how Maul did it. It's like, it's fine. But it's one of those things, like, the more you fucking do it, they do it twice in this show, and
Yeah.
when Riva does it, they don't even really explain like how the fuck like she like did she heal herself?
Yeah,
I mean, she still have the fucking wound. Like,
getting stabbed in the stomach doesn't really do anything anymore.
yeah. Well, I mean, also like they weren't Sith. Maul and Anakin were trained, well, to an extent, like Sith.
Yeah.
Like they're both pretty powerful with the dark side, so I could understand them like being able to like pull on the dark side that much to keep them alive. But like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I thought it was stupid. I thought maybe the Inquisitor would be like a clone or something, because I was just too stupid to be like,
Yeah.
oh well, he got cut in the. Be like if Snoke lived almost. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh fuck.
See, I was really excited for the Grand Inquisitor to be the villain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Reva's bad.
She's interesting enough.
Yeah, she's interesting, and then her conclusion was good.
Mm-hmm.
I like Obi-Wan almost being like her mentor for a minute, being like,
yeah,
you're free. You can do whatever you want. You don't, you can.
But the only thing is, like, now she knows
Yes.
about Luke's location. Not that she knows who Luke is, but she knows Obi-Wan's alive. She knows Anakin is Vader. Like, this is like a loose end.
She knows Leia has a connection to Obi-Wan.
I almost wanted him to kill her in that moment. Like not for like obviously he wouldn't, and obviously I don't want to do it that bad, but it's like he really, like, that is like such a liability to just be like, oh yeah, go be free. It's like, oh my god, like,
go,
what if
like
she
he went
says
to Alec Guinness Obi-Wan.
yeah, be free. It's like, what the fuck? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I would have preferred the Grand Inquisitor to be the main villain, but I guess I was asking too much because they killed him off for half of it.
Yeah, and I again, it's like story wise,
Yeah.
I understand why, because they wanted Reva to have that position, or like that's what she's gunning for, and
Yeah.
everything. But the one thing about her character I didn't get is like, okay, so her whole motivation is she saw Anakin at the temple, cutting down her friends, and then she, again, another dark thing, she said she hid in the bodies. Like, oh my god,
yeah,
it's so dark. So it's like, that's fine, but her solution to this is, okay, I'm gonna join the Inquisitorius, work my way up the ranks to Grand Inquisitor, and then
kill Vader.
But it's like, she still is an Inquisitor killing other Jedi, and being just as, which I get at the end, she realizes she's being just as bad, but it's like, I feel like that's something that should be obvious. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You're no better than Anakin at this point.
Yeah.
Like, how many kids did he kill?
And again,
versus
like,
how many Jedi did you kill?
Right. Like again, like, the show addresses that, but addresses that at the very end.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. You figure, like, maybe she would, like,
yeah,
they would address it, and then she'd be like, oh, well, I have to do this, or something.
I thought she was gonna die. And like,
I fully
thought,
expected
like,
her to die.
Yeah, where she was like, I've done too much, I thought that was gonna be the conclusion, because she was stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I thought it was too. And then I thought, if she had died there, I honestly probably would have preferred that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in my mind, the only thing was like, well, she has to die because there's that line in Return of the Jedi that's like the line that, like, kind of fucks with everything that comes before. It's like, when Yoda's dying, he says, when I'm gone, you're going to be the last Jedi, Luke. So it's like, you have all of these, like, you got Cal, you got Ezra, you got her now. And again, with like Ahsoka and Reva, it's like, oh, I guess they're not technically Jedi, but it's like, and Ezra's not an official knight, and Cal's not an official, but it's like, okay, all right, where the fuck were these people?
Yeah.
But
the thing is like, thinking about it, with how many Jedi there were that were not, like, at the temple even, it's like, of course it makes sense that a whole bunch survived,
Yes.
But it's like, I doubt all of them are, like, I don't know.
I was at my limit of Jedi that have survived Order 66 when Jedi Fallen Order came out 3 years ago. It was like, with Cal, I was like, okay, I'm at my limit. This show opened up the fucking floodgate of, like Quinlan Voss, which was a nice little reference, survived. I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. It makes
sense.
That's fine. But then they have, like, all these other Jedi, and then I guess Reva would technically be one as well. Yeah, I guess, in a sense.
Well, would you call the Grand Inquisitor a surviving Jedi?
Yeah, but that was before. That was before Fallen Order. That was, like, right when the new canon started.
Gotcha.
But it almost the more they do with, like, these survivors, the more it diminishes the effects of Order 66.
Oh, dude, just
It's like, okay, did you actually fucking kill anyone? Like,
just wait until the younglings come back in Bad Batch.
The youngling show. That's another one. Which is, again, it's like, I like that character. I'm glad he's not dead, I suppose. But it's like,
I'm glad they didn't kill the child Wookiee.
Well, I mean,
but they should have.
Part of what I like about that arc is, like, you get attached to these 5 younglings, and then it's like you realize, like, wow, in like a couple of months, they're all going to be dead in the Purge, which is like a sad thought. But now it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if that whole fucking youngling squad survived, and there's like some type of like, oh yeah, we'll be. The little Rhodian with like the nasally with things like, we flew out of the fucking temple with our starfighter. Yeah, you tell him. Scoob. I don't know what his name.
Scooby. I want to talk about the flashback scenes after we're done with the Inquisitors next, but
okay.
When Reva got stabbed and she was on the ground, it made me laugh so hard when the Grand Inquisitor took a pin off of her jacket.
Again, that's why I'm not saying the show is great. It's like, it had like that fight scene leading up and everything was good, and Vader being like, yeah, you're a stupid idiot for thinking that I wasn't able to pick up on your intentions. But my God, the Grand Inquisitor, like, again, up to that point, I was like, okay, it's a different one from Rebels. Like, it feels different, and I know the actor didn't watch it, which was like, why? But he's in the first season for a few episodes. Like, you could have watched at least some of the YouTube clips. But that whole thing, again, it just felt like a cheap way to give Reva some motivation and get the Grand Inquisitor out of there.
Yeah, and when the twist was revealed, I was just like, oh.
No, literally. And that stupid pin, I mean, it's not even in Rebels. It's made for this show. Which
That's
feels
why
so
it's
stupid.
So funny.
It's like literally just there to be like, I'm taking this from you.
Because
like,
when he bent over to take the pin, at first I'm like, oh, he's gonna finish her off because they're gonna kill her because she tried killing Darth Vader.
Dude,
they're gonna kill her right now.
Why he didn't kill? There was one moment in the 4th episode where he was like choking her for letting Obi-Wan escape the fucking fortress. Which, by the way,
I did it on purpose.
It's the second time in like 5 years that a Jedi has broken into and escaped that fucking fortress of people that are designed to hunt Jedi. But again, I think the 5th brother is pretty in line with being as stupid as he was in Rebels. The other Inquisitor was fine. Grand Inquisitor was fine. I actually quite liked him in the first 2 episodes. Again, it's just that when he reappeared, it just felt so stupid.
Yeah, I liked the 5th brother's actor. His performance. I mean, it wasn't anything like crazy. He didn't do anything crazy, but like,
I think I like it more than Rebels.
Yeah,
just because it feels a little bit more menacing in a way.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt the Inquisitors. I feel like they didn't handle them super well. Like Darth Vader,
decent enough.
Yeah, I just wanted more. It wasn't really what I expected.
Again, if it was more focused. The show isn't like horribly unfocused, but it does feel a little slightly unfocused.
I think including Darth Vader so much, I don't know, because like I feel like they should have chosen either the Inquisition or Darth Vader.
What they could have done was do the first 2 episodes strictly on Obi-Wan's character. You could include the little Leia thing, but once at the end of episode 2 when Vader realizes Kenobi's out there or whatever, that's when you do like, because people were wondering if they would do like a Vader episode, and it's like, okay, well, how about you do 1 episode strictly on Vader where he is, what's his perspective on Obi-Wan and all this stuff at this specific point in his life, and then you like do almost like a back and forth, and then that's how you incorporate those Clone Wars flashbacks. It's like sort of like, you know, not mirroring what they did in the like, you know, like there's like the really cheesy shitty thing where it's like, oh, the thing that's happening in the past is happening now and they gotta learn from it kind of thing. I guess it's not shitty, but it's so overdone. But it's sort of like almost like a spin on that in a way, if you know what I mean, where it's like Obi-Wan and Vader are dealing with a conflict, and then you get like a flashback of like when they were actually like really close, or something like that. Which
speaking on that flashback,
okay, we'll just go to the flashback then.
That the flashback fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, I don't know why, but it just looked so bad to me. It was so distracting. Like, I felt like none of it felt real. It all felt CG, you know, like I think they de-aged them, And not only that, but
No,
they were.
they barely did.
I don't know.
It looked like Hayden looked so old.
You know?
That's my thing. He looked like a Saturday Night Live sketch where like they put him like the joke is they put him in the old clothes from when he was younger, and they have him do some like new thing.
It should have been like 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, but like I mean, again, it's like the whole meaning behind that fight and the actual fight itself are good, but it's so fucking distracting when it's supposed to be before Attack of the Clones. Because if you look at his lightsaber, it's not the one he uses in the Clone Wars and all that.
Yeah.
It's like pre that, and then it's supposed to be like, oh yeah, you know, they look like they're fucking 50, but they're supposed to be like 19 and 20 something. It's like, fuck, dude. And again, it's like they're Disney. It's not like they don't have money.
I know.
Just for one of their biggest shows they're making. It's like, come on. But I digress. Yeah, we're watching it literally right now. And again, it's like when they're fighting, it looks fine, but it's like whenever they stop, they look as old as they do. Like Hayden has like these like lines on the side of his face that just like that are more pronounced now that he's older.
His eyebrows.
I don't know. It's strange. I don't know why they wouldn't go for like a Revenge of the Sith era style, just because they're a little bit older or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. Yeah, Vader himself in this, I think we touched on that a little bit. He's good. Again, like you said, they don't really do much with him.
Yeah, which it's fine because like Vader doesn't. He's not really like a monologue-y character. He's a man of few words and mainly action. So like what they did with him, I think was fine.
Yeah, you could have done it without dialogue though.
Yeah,
or at least a ton of it, just him being introspective, and maybe have Anakin be the one speaking.
Yeah,
again, like in flashbacks or something,
or like him talking. Okay, I wish we had a couple more Emperor scenes, at least over a hologram.
Oh, dude, you know that was actually something strange.
Yeah,
that like my top 3 favorite characters were all in the same like show / like thing, and it hasn't been that way since 2005. It was weird seeing Palpatine pop up. I was like, oh,
I know.
fuck.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, it was a little distracting because my immediate thought was, yeah,
you know, I'm fucking happy.
I just feel like maybe one more scene, maybe one where we first meet Vader, where he talks to Palpy, and then like at the end, where he talks to Palpy.
But again, it's like it's focused on little Leia, and it's also focused on Reva. It's like they're trying to service too much, and I get why people complain, being like, oh, say like, oh, it's the Reva show, and I get that.
I think a lot of people didn't like the character, which the character,
I get that.
I think the character being like such a angry person makes sense, but just like their conclusion is what I don't really like.
I'd be interesting, or it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her, because they could put her in Andor, they could put her in Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
they could do a lot. They could even put her in the sequel era.
I kind of get like Asajj Ventress vibes from her. They're trying to make another Asajj, you know.
I could definitely see that. I don't think it'll be as strong. No. At least not at the moment.
Yeah, because I mean that character's just been so developed already. So, but
they actually gave time.
Yeah.
To talk about that person. to do stories.
There's what's the rebellion lady's name? Who goes undercover?
Oh God, I don't know. His friend. I'll just call her his friend. I
really liked her character
and the droid.
And
a good droid, fucking finally.
Yeah, a good droid. Which when it kind of laughed because like obviously that's just a dude in a suit, right?
Yeah.
But when he is hiding the hammer behind his back,
I
was like, that's clearly just a dude.
He's gonna beat the fuck out of him. Dude, I felt really sad when they died. Honestly,
yeah,
she sacrificed herself.
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
I was like, oh, that was. She was probably one of my favorite characters from the show.
Yeah.
And another thing I liked, I know not really talk about her much because she just she's a good role model for Leia. You can kind of see where Leia gets some of that like more rebel tenacity from, which is nice. Like I like some Leia stuff. I feel like they did a lot like too much with her personally, but like what they did with her, I liked a lot of it.
I like the scenes with Leia where Obi-Wan saw Padme and Anakin.
Yes.
In her. That there's a couple of moments. But again, it feels like Leia. They're doing the thing where I just love it with fictional characters where you get to see them at like every stage of their life for the most part. So like now we've seen baby Leia, we've seen kid Leia, we've seen teenage Leia, and then obviously we see her up to her death.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool just to see it in characters like entire like life. Like that's what I like about Harry Potter. Is like you see him from a baby up until like he's 30 something at the very end.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel more connected. I feel like I can get like a full grasp of their character. And again, they don't really change much. I think they did a solid job with Leia. Bale is fine at first, and then he does the stupidest fucking thing where he's like, oh, you can't contact me, or you didn't contact me back, let me give you a fucking set of coordinates and let me name drop all of the important people, just in case you're captured.
And I know it's the Inquisition, which is like probably like this the worst people that could find this message, but
oh god, there's a lot of stupid moments in this show too, which kind of drags it down from being great as well.
Like every single chase scene. Every single Star Wars does not know how to do chase scenes.
They used to. Actually, you know what? The only one I like is the one,
the underwater scene with the big fishies.
No, I was about to not even say that. I was going to say the speeder chase in Attack of the Clones, but that goes on for a little too long.
Yeah,
I like the General Grievous Obi-Wan chase. That one's not bad. That
what
one's
about
short.
the speeders on Endor?
I've never really. I mean, as a kid, I like that, but now I'm kind of like, It just kind of when we talk about Return of the Jedi, I actually have some negative things to say about that. It just kind of feels like filler.
Yeah,
like it's well shot and everything. It looks good. It's just like we're fucking around on Endor. Like, like what are we doing, guys? But anyway, this isn't Return of the Jedi. I love that movie, by the way. Don't fucking think I don't.
Okay, Kevin, take it easy, man.
Stop. Anyway, what were we talking about before?
Duke
Jugulies.
He's got that bung young bop. So. How do you feel about fake Jedi? Is it Emil Kunjani? I forgot.
The guy from Eternals. I really like that.
I
do think it's fucking stupid. I know that's a stupid thing for him to have a fake Jedi business when the Jedi are being hunted down. It'd be like if you were in Nazi Germany and you were like, "Oh, I'm a rabbi. I'm gonna run this underground rabbi thing."
He could just be like, if he gets caught, I'm not a Jedi. I'm not a Jedi. What are you talking about?
He's wearing Jedi robes and he's calling himself a Jedi.
But
I mean,
they can tell right away. Like Inquisitors can tell. Like what's her face? Reva's like,
that's true. But if a group of stormtroopers were to barge in there, I mean,
they'd capture him and then they'd go, "Look, Inquisitors, Jedi," and then they'll be like, "You numbskulls!" Yeah, they go dunk dunk, knock their heads together.
I guess I do feel like it is a little.
See, I'm explaining things away like a Star Wars fan.
No. That's actually pretty logical. I'll take back what I said. That's pretty good. I don't know. It seemed a little strange as all. I guess it works though.
But I really like his character arc because he's like, I feel like he's the only comic relief character who's really trying to be funny, and then like at the end he's like, I need you to take care of Leia, and he goes, and Obi-Wan's like, I trust you, and it's like, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he wasn't super annoying. He wasn't,
Yeah, at first I'm like, if he's gonna be like this the entire time, but like he actually serves a purpose. Yeah, pretty much.
His little con artist thing was pretty cool.
Yeah. He stood up to. I don't know why he didn't get killed by Reva like immediately.
That was the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
She's willing to like throw knives at civilians' faces just to reveal a Jedi, and a fake Jedi stands in her way, and she's like, "Move."
I don't know why she didn't kill him after she got the information from him, but I mean, it's whatever. That's like a minor thing. One thing that I noticed that I was sort of like, oh god, it reminded me of The Last Jedi, is when they're at the beginning of the 1st or 6th episode, they're being shot at by the Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And Vader's like, oh fuck, we have to choose between shooting down their ship or going after Obi-Wan. And even the Grand Inquisitor's like, dude, if we take them down, that whole Jedi underground thing is gone. And Vader's like, no, turn the ship, we're going for Obi-Wan. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but Imperial Star Destroyers usually have a couple of complements of TIE fighters, right? That they could send after either Obi-Wan or Vader's TIE fighter. Vader could literally hop in any ship and go after Obi-Wan himself. because he doesn't want to shoot down the ship, right?
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's not going hyperspace.
Right.
Literally, get in your ship that you get in eventually to land on the planet, and just follow him in that.
Yes, no, but it's like
because he's driving an escape pod.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know why you have to choose necessarily. Also, Riva getting from near death to Tatooine in what seems like a couple of minutes, almost, or like an hour or so. It's like what the
forced
fuck?
teleportation.
I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, there's a lot of. That's not everything. Obviously, there's a lot of like little stupid moments like that where it's like, why, like it just feels like fake tension. You know, it feels like, oh well, we need Vader to be single-minded and choose so he could be scolded by the Emperor at the end, which again, I really liked that scene.
Yeah.
The Emperor's like, oh, you know, if you're really so hell-bent on him, you know, maybe Anakin Skywalker isn't then. Vader's like, fuck it, we're done.
Get out.
But yeah, no, there was, again, I guess, I mean, do you have anything major? Oh, you know what, really quick, the music in the show was not that great. The John Williams main theme, like the that one was good.
That was kind of the only one I can remember.
The rest of it is super forgettable. Okay, one last thing, and it kind of reminded me of Batman versus Superman, so hear me out. So they were hyping this show up as like the rematch of the century. I think they even said that, like Kathleen Kennedy was like, this is going to be the rematch of the century between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. I was like, okay. So when the first fight happened, I was like, okay, like, you know, obviously Obi-Wan kind of sucks. That was actually decent enough fight. I mean, obviously he wasn't putting up a fight. Vader was doing the one-handed thing. I mean, he did that with Luke. He did that. I think that he did that basically with everyone when he wasn't trying. You know, if you're getting a two-handed swing with the lightsaber with him, he is like pissed.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah. So going into episode 6, I was like, okay, they're hyping this shit up. This is gonna be fucking like insane. And the actual fight was kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
All of the action scenes in this, I think, are pretty mediocre. Yeah, but that one specifically, except for actually that Vader Reva fight, I actually liked that one quite a bit, just because it was different.
Yeah.
But this one was just like, oh, they're fighting. He buries Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan throws rocks at him. And it's like the arena they're fighting in is just so lame. It's like rock spiders.
Well, yeah, dude. If you compare it to their last fight where they're swinging from fucking ropes above a lava
They said
pit.
It was going to be... I thought he was going to go to Mustafar to like go confront Vader himself.
They should have had it in Vader's castle.
That's what I thought they were going to do. I think I even mentioned that. I thought he was going to Mustafar to confront him.
I'm not making fun to make you think that I like it better, because I think it could have been cooler. I think it was more so they tried carrying it just by the emotional impact of it, which at the end of the fight was true. It was so good. Like Anakin's like, I can't do it. I'm gonna fucking choke.
You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker.
And Obi-Wan's like, I'm sorry, I can't. And then he walks away. I mean, obviously he wasn't going to kill Anakin.
Well, I know, but that's been actually like a point of contention, is like, he calls him Darth, so he recognizes Anakin's no longer in there. But if that's the case, why didn't he kill him? And now I get the fucking meta of it. It's like, well, if he killed him, they wouldn't be in episode 4. Like, yeah, I get that. I'm talking about story-wise. Why the fuck didn't he kill him?
Well,
like, if he truly thinks Anakin's gone, why didn't he kill him? However, my counter to this, it made me genuinely sad when I saw he couldn't kill him, because this is the second of 3 times he's fought him, and each time he cannot bring himself to kill him, except for maybe A New Hope, because we didn't really get to see like the end of that fight, quote unquote, because he let himself die. But like, it genuinely made me sad. Like he bested him twice, and he had the opportunity to end him, but like he cannot bring himself to kill Anakin, and it's sad.
I was gonna counter with that, so I'm glad you countered yourself.
Yeah, no, because I know that I again, we're the middle ground. I like to try and like get all the perspectives in there. But yeah, that was a little like,
because I mean, I was thinking of like what he said during the last fight they had. He was like, "You're my brother, Anakin." Yeah. It's like, yeah, I probably couldn't do that either, you know?
Yeah.
Even if my brother was a horrible person.
Yeah, it's like, do you really think Leia, if she had Kylo Ren dead to rights, would have killed him? It's like, no, that's her son. Like,
yeah,
probably, like,
Yeah.
unless she was channeling the dark side. Like Luke would have killed Vader had he not stopped himself, you know.
Yeah, because Luke's like, you're my dad, but
then he
I've only known
realized
you
that.
for the horrible things you've done.
Yeah. But anyway, that's basically the last big thing I was gonna say. Overall,
I have one last thing.
Oh, okay.
His last line in the show. Hello there.
Oh God.
I was like, oh.
His last line in the show was, Master Qui-Gon, you look blue. Are you down in the dumps?
You look like Blue Sir from Super Mario. He goes, "Whoa!"
And then that was actually pretty good. And then they both play Mario Kart DS on their DSs. They're walking through the desert.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a shy guy.
But Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, I will choose Toad because he's got the most annoying voice. It's training, trust me.
All right, anyway. Oh, fuck. Okay. So, in real conclusion,
I thought that was the conclusion.
Well, no, I want to give it a score.
Oh, how'd you feel about Uncle Owen and Amber Root?
Didn't we talk about them?
I did.
We talk about them packing heat?
Dude, fucking... they just open fire on the Inquisitor. Because if you think about it, yeah, get on either side of her and just start shooting. Some bullets are bound to hit her.
Yeah, throw a grenade. I guess
Throw a grenade.
I guess they wouldn't have that. But anyway, yeah. So overall, I would say again, show is good, not great.
Yeah.
Out of our ranking system, so 5 is average, 0 is like the worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life, and 10 is pitch perfect. What would you give this out of 10?
I'd probably go like 7 or 7.5.
Oh wow! Okay, it was exactly what I was gonna give it. Was a 7.
Shit.
A 7. I think I'll go 7.5 for right now.
Yeah.
Well, we had the same opinion on this that we did with Book of Boba Fett. Like we had the same exact score.
Yeah. Wow.
That's kind of weird.
Just wait until these other ranking videos come out. You know that picture that we posted of Obi-Wan and Anakin, or Vader and Obi-Wan behind the scenes?
Yeah.
It's gonna be us.
It's gonna be no, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Again, do you have like a sentence you want to like phrase it as? Like I said, good, not great. Or do you pretty much say
how
the
about
same?
we end it? I'll say one word and you say the other. We'll go back and forth.
Oh, it's like okay.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Was
pretty.
And
the
action
was
also
not
pretty
good. Thank you.
Period. Yeah. What the fuck?